Hello, folks. Welcome back to the podcast. I feel like today we're gonna try to go back to what normally is discussed on here, which is maybe not the most interesting things. I feel like one of the main things I wanted to talk about, I probably should have at least looked this up on Google. You know how I bring up toxic masculinity? Today I've been thinking of a lot of is there a toxic femininity? Like, is there an environment that it brings the same stuff out where you're ostracized or you're shamed if you don't do XYZ for blah 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 blah. Which I feel like it's not as aggressive for females, but I feel like it's definitely still there. So here's what I think happens. I think there's a lot of people who are raised in a specific environment that literally changes how they view themselves and how they're supposed to act. I think it's also reinforced when they step out in society in specific environments when they're also doing the same thing. So I feel like I don't know what the answer is because it's the same thing with toxic masculinity, where if you're not doing these behaviors, even unhealthy behaviors to you in others, it's almost like you're left out of this exclusive club of belonging. Which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Like, it's not healthy. It's not a good thing. It sounds very toxic. But it's something that we feed into because it's, oh, you do this or you don't belong. And I feel like there's some environments that you could find, but I feel like in specific environments, it's like a catalyst for this toxicity. I don't know. I don't know what the solution to do with it is. Do we just ignore it because it's the product of something that is not really your fault? Or do we just go for it head on and be like, no, this is not something that we're gonna accept. This is not behavior we're gonna accept. But if you're the only one that's doing that, I don't feel like you're probably just gonna end up alone in your room. I always have this huge, no, I wouldn't say pet peeve. I have this issue with doing things to be cool. I understand people don't want to be ridiculed, but I always have that theory of people are gonna talk about you in a specific way no matter what you do. So you might as well do whatever you want to do. Because I'm just okay, well, we can conform and we can change to what these people say, and they're still gonna talk shit about us, but now we're changing who we are for someone else, which it can be empty because if that goes away, if that's just a very surface level relationship, then what do you have? You've now changed yourself for someone that's not really gonna be there, if that's something you should do in the first place. I don't want to give a bad advice of putting people in sticky situations, but I don't want to shame people for doing things that maybe we don't understand on what the best decision could be in the stance. So I don't know. My stance on toxic femininity. I don't normally have female friends. I had one best friend growing up, and then I had another friend who happened to be her little sister. So it was I was never around, and we were always the othered people. It was never the popular kids. So I never understand. I was never in that environment of okay, we need to do this to survive. That make it or break it type of energy. It was just not there. So I don't really have that much experience with dealing with that. I have experience with dealing with horrific people, But it's never someone where I'm just like, okay, I have to see this person. I have to be in this environment. I can't leave. And these are the only people that I know. Like, I feel like mostly my go-to is I'm going to be alone, which is not the best solution. Definitely not for your mental health. Like, my always thing is like, I'm just going to be the local cat lady that just sits in their apartment at home, or like the old man that's like, get off my yard because you're fucking trespassing. That's not me, but I feel like that's the energy of I kind of don't have anyone that cares about me in this world, or anyone that I care about. So I'm just going to be alone, and then you become cynical, and I don't know. I don't think it's the goal, but I feel like I don't I don't avoid people. Well, I do avoid people. Gosh. I avoid conflict like a son of a bitch, because I have two reactions of I'm either going to have a breakdown, or I'm going to like react in a very bad way that maybe is not good for my character. So I don't like that. I don't like either one of them, of like going to those extremes. And then people are like, you're a sensitive person. Maybe I am a sensitive person. But like, I don't know. I can deal with it to a certain extent of there's so many different things of like your current mental state of like how long you've known this person, and how many people are acting like this. Like that's my number one. Even if I like despise the person, I don't despise people. Like, even if someone's like annoying the heck out of me, or really like being like really rude to me, if I see a bunch of people ganging up on someone, like, it gets to me. Like, if I see like a whole room of people and like they're all on this one, even if the person like 100% deserves it, and we're not talking about like actual crimes here, but like if everyone is doing that, I'm like, they're not. Oh my god, I turned the mic off. They're not even sorry. They're not even going to they're not even going to be listening to you. So even if you are like in the right, everyone just attacking you and being like, you're wrong, you've done wrong. Everything that you're saying is like going one ear out the other. No one has processed what is being said, because everyone is just teaming up on them for whatever reason. And so I feel like whenever I see that, I always want to like stick up for the person, because I'm just like, I don't think anyone deserves that type of treatment. I don't think it's just. And I don't think everyone realized. I don't think people are like, okay, we're gonna go down to the village with fucking torches and pitchforks at midnight. I don't think that's happening. But I feel like when, let's just say, for whatever reason, someone triggers your emotions, or someone you love gets triggered, so you get triggered. Like, there's so many reasons on why it could be happening. If it happens to everyone at once and they're all ganging up on someone, I don't know. It really rubs me the wrong way, because I literally just want to jump in and be like, oh my god, I'm sorry, everyone is literally kicking the shit out of you right now. I don't like that. And I've been a part of it before, and I've literally like, when I notice everyone else is like, okay, we're all piling on right now, then maybe I'm like, okay, let's take a step back. Because literally what we're all doing right now is just letting our frustration out. There's like the two reasons of like, okay, which we've probably discussed before. I'm doing this to make myself feel better, versus am I doing this to make a change, to prove a point, to actually teach someone a lesson. Like, that's so fucked up, because one, we're not people's parents, and two, if your parent is doing that, I am sorry, that's horrible. Like, I don't think that's any way to teach someone. I think that's someone that you have to. I feel like there's very specific people to do this with, of like, I'm not understanding where you're coming from, so let me try to paint a picture for you. I feel like people take that are very liberal with it, and I don't know. I don't think that always needs to happen. I guess the moral of the story is let's all hope that we were born in a good environment and that we move to a good environment. And if we're stuck in a bad environment, I guess, I don't know. I don't want to say like self isolate and just because that's my my go to. But I feel like, I don't know. I don't think we have to go to one extreme to the other, where we're either completely self isolating or we're bringing ourselves out of character to a point where we don't like who we are. So I don't know. I feel like finding that middle ground is my goal. Also, my goal is to get out of my comfort zone. I think I said that this year of literally I want to I want to start doing stuff because I literally had the idea of like, okay, we're not meant to be in comfort 24/7. It's not meant for us to be literally like, okay, you're never stressed out, you're never anxious, you're never dealing with a death, you're never like, that's not going to happen. That's obviously the frequency and the amount is different for different people, but we're always going to deal with it. That's just how life operates. So I feel like I've really come with the grips of, okay, well, I have to get comfortable with becoming uncomfortable for like like in certain times. You know what I mean? Of like, well, I can't always feel, I have to sometimes just stomach through it and do things that I want to do, but it's hard for me to do. Which is my basically goal of like, I'm going to try to push myself to like leave my comfort zone and do things that are uncomfortable. Fear of judgment and ridicule. I don't know. I think that's my goal. Can you hear the AC in the background? Like, oh my god. I'm sorry if you can't. Oh my god, I also just spent 3 days doing my hair for passion twists. You guys cannot see this because sadly it's not video podcast anymore, but my hair is fully in passion twist right now, and I'm kind of unhappy with how it looks, like 100% unhappy. There's so many things that I fucked up with. One, I put like so much of my hair is like so much, so I sectioned too much of it. I sectioned it like too many pieces, so now now there's too much hair, which is causing issues like massively. And then it was too long, and so it's like uneven. And I wanted to cut it, but I'm honestly, I don't really care about the uneven part. There's so many things I'm just like, I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted it to look amazing. It's supposed to last for like a long time. So if it looks horrible, it's gonna look horrible forever. Oh my god. And then the maintenance, I'm trying to like not keep it. I'm trying to keep it nice and not have it frizzy. And I already frizzed it out within like 2 days of putting it on. Which is nice. Oh my god. Uh, and I was also supposed to like attach these other like hair pieces, like curl pieces, and I decided not to because I didn't want those to get so freaking damaged as well. And then now I'm dealing with that on top of this. I don't know. I'm deciding on if I should put some in or not. But yeah, this is my hair journey. I'm currently doing passion twist. I would suggest it, literally. I would suggest like doing like a bob style because it's just gonna take long. It's gonna take quicker amount of time. I can't speak, and yeah, it's honestly gonna look better. So like just do bigger pieces of the sections and do a bob style is definitely what I would do next time, or just a little bit shorter. I like the long hair because it literally, I don't know, it makes your body look good at the same time. But it's a lot of effort. It took me like over 18 hours in total to do it, and it was over 3 days. So I could have literally crammed in. Well, obviously you need to sleep, but I honestly could have stayed up and just did it in one day. Which I don't know. I've been sleeping a lot lately, and I normally operate like 100%, like Kamara, is I can't sleep because I'm so wired by thinking of things. So I feel like if I got like something to get hooked on, like a show or a video series online, I could just like do it no problem. But it was just not a fun experience. Next time I would change those things of just like try to do it in one day, of sectioning bit and just saying everything twice. I would just change a lot. Now I'm just trying to get comfortable with the fact that like I don't really like how it looks, but it's gonna stay. So I'm just like, I don't think anyone's gonna be seeing me. I don't know. I don't want like anyone to impress. And that's my fear of like if someone saw me right now, I would be so embarrassed. But I like it. This is why you should go to a salon because I can't do this. But I tried and it wasn't that bad. It wasn't, yeah. I'm definitely probably going to do it again, honestly. Just change that because it was a chore. It was a freaking chore. The hardest part being the partying and then doing it the back of your head. I got a three-way mirror, but I still could not see the back of my head. And to this day, I don't know what the back of my head looks like. So like I could probably try to look in the mirror. I think it turned out okay. But I wish the sectioning was better and there's so many things. I'm not a hairstylist, okay? I'm trying with everything. Oh my god. The other thing I wanted to talk about is something that's literally been on my mind because I've seen so much of it. Like I've been like I've literally been watching so much content. I feel so crazy. But literally what I've been thinking of like the argument of you choosing your partner and your partner being considered too privileged for to be with you, if you know what I mean. I feel like the when I think about this and I'm trying to like break it down like analytically and think of what is the issue here, I think the problem is the fact that it's a choice. So people are always like on a huffy, they don't want to be called privileged, they don't like being around privilege. Like privilege is just like a no no no. So I feel like when someone's like, okay, this is a choice, that's also a huge thing. So I feel like when someone's like, okay, you chose someone that was privileged, I feel like it becomes a big issue. But then I break it down and I'm like, okay, so if you fell in love with someone, you're not supposed to get with them just because they're privileged. Like that's like the message we're trying to send out. Like obviously like if you're in a line, like if you see like a line of people and you're like I don't know which one is like perking my interest, like that's a like completely different conversation. Like we're talking about who you're attracted to, who you're wanting to pursue. I'm talking about you're already in love. So if you're already in love with a person and then you literally are like someone is literally like in your ear being like, but they're way too privileged to be with you. That makes no like it makes no sense to me. That literally makes no sense to me. Cuz I'm like, okay, are we going to do this? Are we making this decision with our hearts or are we making this with our brains? Cuz in my head, you if you fall in love with like the most freaking just someone that people in your life are like not comfortable with, I would still be like, okay, but this is still love. That would be my end all question of like, do you love this person, yes or no? Or are you just trying to pursue this person? And then that's also a conversation that should be had. I don't think it's a conversation of like, are you attracted to this person, right? I think it's like the conversation of we're trying to pursue people, and while you're trying to pursue someone, you get distracted by someone else. So like, how is that fair? And I agree that that is also I don't think that's just something that should be done. I don't think this is I don't know. I don't think it's all a choice. Here's my thoughts on something that I'm super uninformed with. But like if I'm interested in someone, I don't know. You it's not no one's going to be able to like bring up here's another option. It's not going to happen. Uh yeah. I feel like you have to for me personally, you would have to catch me in my like single era of wanting to keep it casual, which I feel like everyone I feel like people are stuck in that phrase. They're stuck in that stage and they don't want to be stuck in that stage. I'm definitely stuck in that stage and I don't want to be stuck in that stage. And I don't know. I think it's hard cuz you're in there. I feel like we don't want to get into the conversation of like settling, but I feel like there's periods of time when you're just like I just want to be with someone. It's not a specific person. You're just like I don't want to be alone, which is it's not really good to hear if you're the other person. Let's be real. But I feel like I don't know. I'm not gonna judge the person that's gonna be like I don't want to be alone. Like I don't think that's something that I'm gonna judge on. But personally, I would rather be alone than with someone that I don't want to be with. And I'm so picky that I'm just like number one, it's not even like a checklist for me where someone's like, okay, you have to have these attributes. The number one thing for me is like, okay, do I have a connection with someone? Do I have feelings for someone? Like that over anything will always like it's so weird for me cuz like I don't know. I don't know. It's so hard for me to get to that level of like okay, I'm connecting with you and then I feel something. I guess I'm just an emotionless robot. My I don't know. My point is really trailing on at this point. I guess it's just like so hard when communication is the issue because whether it's like hard or not, let's be real, when you're not able to communicate, like so many issues just pop up. So many misunderstandings, so many things of like, okay, this could have been solved if we were able to do this. And it sucks because I have like literally the worst communication issues known to man. It's literally the reason why I've probably been alone for so long. But like at the same time, it's I don't know. I'm so hard. I'm not a person to be like, okay, I'm going to go try to, find new people to hang out with. And then the people that I do know is like it's so my issue when I know I get a lot of shtick for like saying I'm not friends with people, but I feel like cuz it's so surface level, not a rude thing. It's just like okay, I've never spent really like alone time with this person. I've never had like an actual conversation with this person. And then I feel like okay, I'm not trying to be rude, but I wish I was more comfortable with people. I wish I was able to call someone a friend. I wish I was able to like just like freely talk to people more. I feel like I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this is just like turned into a huge therapy session and I think I need to change the topic. Oh, I got a treadmill. It's nice because I can just like go on whenever I want to. I don't have to like wait until Marcus wants to like go out for a walk or something. I don't know. I feel like it's so weird because there's so many people that like dread it. And I dread like strength training away and I'm just repeating what I talked about in my Snapchat. But I I despise I despise weights so much. Like so much. I've been getting like so energized by cardio and I don't know, like the fact of having routine. I know it's like not cool, but it makes me feel so like complete, which I don't know. I don't know. I've been feeling so much better in mentally and physically. I don't know. It's a weird thing to add. I was watching a movie last night and like a bunch of shit was popping up in my head. One of the weird things that popped up in my head, I was literally like, I don't know if anyone has ever had like a prom before. It's the lamest thing, but I literally like never I never went to prom in my life. I never went to a school dance. I feel like the only school dance I went to uh, it's so emotional. I feel like was like 6th grade. No. Yeah. No, must have been like 6th grade. And it wasn't even like a dance. It was like, okay, meet at the school after school, and then we just drink soda. So I guess, I don't know, that could be the existence of a school dance. But I was literally, I'm like, someone should literally do like a bucket list idea of like doing a bunch of list of things they do before they die. And it was literally the only thing I could think about at the time. It was just like, they should. It was like someone should literally like throw a prom. I'm like, they should literally throw like an adult prom. Was my process going through. Another really embarrassing fact. Okay, here it goes. So like I'm super into like TV shows and movies, obviously, but like it was always because like the cooler going back to like the toxic. I don't even know. I think this was like just basic toxic masculinity. I don't think this is femininity at all. But it was like it's because it was like so uncool to do anything that was like stereotypically like a woman. So like cooking or like cleaning, anything that's like a housewife basically. So watching anything where it was like a chick flick or any of like the things that a woman was like supposed to watch was like something that was like so like, it's just like not cool. So we would always watch like all the stuff that was like very like tomboyish, is very action star and very like rough and gore. Not like gore, but like more honestly more action. So obviously I grew up watching like some of the Marvel stuff, like not before like they had the huge insurgent with like Avengers that everyone and their mother was watching. I'm gonna be a little bit embarrassed to admit this because I classify myself as like a nerd or a geek. So I literally should have watched this, but I've never. The only Marvel movie for Avengers I've only seen. I've not seen any of the latest ones. Like literally any of them. I hate it so much. I was going to do like a rewatch. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take the list of all of the Marvel movies and I'm going to like watch all of them at once in order. And then I didn't because I kept losing. Not that they're uninteresting; they're so good. I was just so interested in something else that I was literally like, okay, I'm not gonna watch this right now. But I hate myself because I know how good they are. I know how everyone is literally like raving about them. People who don't even like watch movies like that. So then I kick myself. I'm like, who has not seen it at this point? Like everyone has seen it at this point. That's so like almost anything. I have such a weird. I either know something like so obscure that no one knows, or it's something that's so mainstream that like everyone should know. I would be like literally like, no, I haven't seen that yet. And everyone always looks at me like, are you serious? Like this is literally like a movie of like telling someone you haven't seen Star Wars. Everyone is literally like, how have you not seen this? This is literally like a classic. I'm ashamed about that because I'm very proud about not trying to be cool, which is the most pathetic thing that has ever came out of my mouth. I remember one time, oh my god, this I've had some embarrassing moments, but this is one that I can laugh at and I'm comfortable to laugh at. And okay, so we had like this like DV rental place in town, and I don't know if anyone can like look up the year that Magic Mike came out in theaters. But I was born in 1999. I don't know if anyone can do that math. But I was like waiting for this movie to come out, like literally waiting. I was obsessed with like She's the Man growing up. Um Not that that movie has literally anything to do with this, but I don't know what had I don't know why. I think I just saw the trailer And I was so young at the point, it was a little bit weird that I was literally like, I have to see Magic Mike. We went into the a video on demand store because I didn't understand how movies worked. And for some reason, I thought that because I saw the trailer for the movie, it's already going to be out on DVD, which is not how it worked. And so I asked my brother at the time to literally go up to the store clerk and ask them if they have Magic Mike. And he was literally like, hell no, I'm not going to ask him for Magic Mike, which is ridiculous. But I ended up having to go up to the store clerk by myself, and I was so young. And I literally asked him, I'm like, do you guys have Magic Mike? I was probably not that young, but, I was so innocent in the bubble of not realizing. And the clerk just literally laughed at me. It was just like, no, it's not even out in theaters. And I felt so like literally I never was aware of the embarrassment. So like most of the time I look back now and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling it now. But most of the time I would not realize it, like not necessarily how you should feel. Like I wasn't aware of, like, I wasn't thinking, oh my god, this is going to go bad. Oh, so many things are going to happen. So I was just willing to go for it. And I feel like when this happened, it was one of the first times where I was like, oh, that went horrible. Like when I auditioned for Oliver Twist and I couldn't sing, I literally got in the room full of like, I don't know, 20 kids and a couple adults. You basically just have to sing in front of everyone to get the role. And I could not sing at all. Somehow I got a role because they were just like giving a role to everyone. And it was just like one of the, had no solo lines at all. It was all group stuff. But it was basically, because it was a play, you had to spend so much time there and we were kids. It was basically like, it was like so involved. But it was just so embarrassing because I'm like, back then I did not give a shit. So I was just caterwauling, just screaming, like singing really bad. And I didn't even realize. Oh, God. But now I would literally be like shell shocked. Like I'm so in my head, it's now a bad thing. Like I know we need it sometimes, but I'm so much in my head that I'm just like, okay, this is gonna ruin stuff. I'm too anxious. Oh, here's something that I wanted to talk about, which I feel like everyone gets the brunt of, even if they don't do, which is like excuse versus explanation. I feel like people get so tired whenever like they say why something hasn't. They say basically the explanation, and they'll get the gist of, I don't want to hear your excuses, blah 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 blah. And it pisses me off so much because I'm just like, okay, but this isn't an excuse. You're asking for the reason of why, and I'm telling you, and you're trying to make it seem like this is me trying to explain it away. And I'm trying to explain, not explain, I'm trying to say the thing of what excuse is. Excuse, let me explain it to you. That's so rude. um, what excuse, in my eyes, I view it as, is literally someone using it as like a scapegoat. So literally like someone who, let's say like my foot hurts, which it does. And so I'm off of painkillers or something. I just walked like 5 miles and now I can't walk. That's an explanation of why I'm sitting down, right? That makes it makes sense. It doesn't mean it's like, okay, this is the truth. Someone could still be up a bit. Someone could come up to me and be like, well, you shouldn't have gone on the walk then. You know what I mean? But the excuse would be like, okay, I'm sitting on the chair and then I'm just telling you it's because my foot hurts, but my foot doesn't hurt. So then now they're going, okay, but you're just using that as the excuse. You're basically using it as the scapegoat for whatever reason you want to do. Which does like literally like my fake angry noise. Oh my god. Pisses me off. I don't know. It really it pisses me off because like people always use the, because of that, they use the, oh my god, don't make an excuse scenario. And at the same time, I'm always just like, okay, but this isn't why this is happening. I know this is not why this is happening. But it's kind of ridiculous. It's literally, I don't know. I think it's something of like, you could harp on it if you're going to be that, if you're choosing to. Like, obviously, you can't choose to, like, have stuff stay in your brain. But, this is just a mumble. This is really just a mumble of a podcast. I freaking apologize. So this is going to be a short one, and I thought that we could start with maybe just ending with a question that I scoured the internet for. I don't know if that's weird or not, but I thought I liked I saw this one and I'm like, you know what? I like this. And it sounds like it's so staged because I'm just like, I literally just picked a question that I wanted to answer. But the question that I found definitely did not fake find. Would you pursue someone that is actively pursuing others? And I feel like this is a question of our generation, ain't it? I don't know. I'm speaking like that. Here's how I personally feel about this, because I feel like, oh my god, this is so tricky, because I feel like it depends on how you feel, right? Because I feel like once like the L word is involved, all hands, like, all bets are off. It's getting crazy. But I feel like, I don't know. I'm definitely in a place that if I knew the person was literally like secure and I don't know. Here, my problem would be is someone's going to probably start belittling you to make someone else feel better. And that's probably going to be my, like, ugh. Especially when, like, you start sleeping with someone and then they start degrading you for someone else. Like, not the best feeling. So I feel like if everyone was able to be, like, mature, and that's such an impossible task to ask. Because when feelings are involved, it's such a, like, emotional response. So I feel like it's such a hard thing to try to tackle. I feel like you could be able to do it. I feel like there's a scenario where it would personally be okay. Yeah, I feel like if I had my own place and I was just like hooking up with people casually, I would be fine with it. But I feel like in my circumstances right now, it's very very unattainable. I feel like at the point I am right now, which sucks, I literally either have to just abstain or go all in, which is crazy, which is why I'm abstaining. But I thought we would end there. This is gonna be, as I said, a very smaller podcast. I apologize. I honestly was not, I was watching way too many videos this week. I was not thinking of any questions. Normally, I'm literally like, I'll watch stuff and things will just pop up in my head. I'm like, okay, I gotta talk about this. I gotta talk about this. And then by the time the podcast comes, there's like so many things I want to talk about. And there hasn't been that much. So I think it's a lot of the times because I've been talking to Snapchat a lot. So I think, yeah, and I'm not going to keep talking about my plans on what I want to do. So go check out my Snapchat if you want to see me. I do post daily now. It might be like a little bit, it might be a lot, but I think I've started posting daily almost, yeah, every day. So go follow me on Snapchat if you want to see me. Just say if you just want to see me. No judgment. All my links will be down below if you're on YouTube, and I will see you guys next week with hopefully a better podcast.